Hi everyone, it's Justine. I want to talk to you about color. When you see me here, the first thing you notice is color before you're able to tell what I'm wearing or which material that might be. Color is essential in the first impression that you make on people, not just what the color suggests, but also does that color suit you. This video is the first of a new series on this channel, all about color. I will teach you and demonstrate how to recognize a color and say whether it's warm or cool, so whether it will suit you or not, how to build a color palette for your wardrobe that suits and flatters your skin undertone, what to do with black, white, and gray, how to wear and combine the so-called neutrals in your closet, and a lot more. If you're interested in this topic, subscribe to my channel because there is lots of useful knowledge coming your way. For today's video, I want to show you and really teach you to recognize whether a color is warm or cool, not just the 6 basic ones, with several tricks. First off, when you choose a garment, a color, it's recommended to match that color to your skin undertone. So the rule is, if you are cool toned, you should wear cool colors, and if you are warm toned, you should wear warm colors. If you do not know right now whether you're cool or warm, or maybe neutral, there is a video on my channel linked here and also down below in the description to help you find out very quickly what you are. The problem is when you're in a store and you pick up a garment, it's not always easy to say this is warm or this is cool and the exact color that the garment has. You'll try it on and you might be wondering, does that look flattering? What kind of color is that exactly? The good news is recognizing cool from warm colors is just a matter of training, and we're doing this right now. Let's start with the basic color wheel. Blue, yellow, and red are the 3 primary colors, which I prefer to call hues. Then if you mix red plus blue, you get purple. Blue plus yellow makes green. Yellow plus red makes orange. Purple, green, and orange are the 3 complementary colors. Now, from here to here, we have the warm hues. Yellow, orange, red. And from there to there, the cool hues, purple, blue, green. If you take orange, it's in the middle of the warm range, right? It's red mixed with yellow. Both are warm colors, so orange is very clearly warm. But let's take purple. That one's trickier because purple is kind of in between warm and cool. It's a mix of blue, which is cool, and red, which is warm. If I add a bit of red to my purple, my hue turns into red purple. If I take the same purple and add some blue, it really turns bluish. You can see how the red purple contains more red and the blue purple contains more blue. So red purple is warmer than blue purple. But all this is purple. So if you ask me, is purple a warm or a cool color? My answer will probably be, it depends. Is the purple that you're looking at containing more red than it contains blue, or the other way around? That's the actual question. By the way, you hear celebrity stylists, red carpet stylists, say jewel tones work for everyone. That depends too, I would say. Purple, pure purple, really 50% red, 50% blue, really in the middle, is a jewel tone. You could call it neutral because it's in between warm and cold. However, the actress you're dressing for that red carpet gala probably is more cool or warm. So instead of not making any decision and going for the middle ground, work with undertones. That's what I would say at least. And go really towards one or the other so that the skin of the person will glow and stand out a lot more in the dress. Same thing for green. It's in between yellow, which is warm, and blue, which is cool. So they are warm greens and cool greens. So is the green that you're looking at closer to yellow or closer to blue? Okay, so far we have the 3 primary colors, the 3 secondary colors. These are the basic 6. Apart from purple and green, which are kind of on the edge, the other 4 can be clearly categorized into either warm or cool, most of the time. The problem is when you start mixing hues not in equal proportions to each other, or when you start mixing more than 2 together, then it gets more complicated to say which color you're actually looking at, and therefore whether it's warm or cool. There are also more than 6 colors in real life, right? So Typically, this set has 314. I'm going to be using this one in a minute. And designers also use bigger ranges than that. So this is the Pantone color guide for fashion. So for fabrics, this is the one that I use in my job. It has many, many more options. Let's take this dark brown as an example. Is this warm or cool? If it's cool, then it should contain more blue. If it's warm, then it should have more red in it. That's why I'm putting a red and a blue next to it. Seeing the three like this, you can tell that the brown is closer to the red than to the blue. So this brown belongs in the warm spectrum. Brown could be either cool or warm, but this one is warm. Conclusion: when you put your hue in between a red and a blue of similar intensities, I would say, it always makes it a lot easier to see whether your hue goes towards warm or towards cool. It's a very easy trick if you don't know where to start, and it works most of the time. Another example, this is a blue-green. So in theory, it's a cool hue, which it is. Blue and green are hard to differentiate for the human eye, and also culturally. There are languages where blue and green are the same word. For instance, in Vietnamese, correct me if I'm wrong, I think you say the same word and then you have to specify, is that the blue of the sky or the blue of tree leaves? What happens if you add white to that hue? You get a sort of aqua green color. And if you add black to the hue, progressively like this, it becomes a sort of dark blue with a touch of green. These 5 cards have the exact same hue. That's why I call them hue and not colors. These are 5 different colors, but it's one hue and therefore the same temperature. They're all cool. The only difference is that in one direction I'm adding white and in the other one I'm adding black. Conclusion: adding white or black to a hue does not change its temperature. Also, if you combine these 3 or these 3 in an outfit, you will have a perfect harmony. It's really easy to look at, it's the same family, it's easy on the eye. You could also pair these with white or the darker ones with black. Also very easy. If you're looking for color palettes that look harmonious, this is absolutely the way to go. You will hear people tell you things like, oh, you look so well put together and your outfit looks so cohesive. No matter what you're wearing, it's only about the colors. But I'll go into more details about building a color palette for your wardrobe in the next episodes of this series. What about khaki? There are many different khakis. This is khaki, these two, this one too. If you saw any of these individually, you'd probably all call them khaki because they all contain some yellow, they all feel warm, they all are technically warm. Yet I can still group them and organize them in a way as to see which ones are warmer than the others. I have 3 that are more yellow. The others contain more green, aka some blue in it, so they're cooler. If your undertone is very warm, these 3 khakis that are more yellow will look even more flattering on you than the others. It gets more obvious if I overlap the cards in one single row. This side is more yellow and that side is more green, aka cooler. Conclusion: even within the warm spectrum, or the cool one, you can still play with temperature. If you're very warm toned, you can go for hues, colors, that are very warm, and you will have an even better effect on how much you glow in your outfit. I want to show you another example with purple. See, these 2 sets, they're both purple. Everything here is purple. However, this row contains more red. Can you tell? The darker ones are not so easy to recognize, and the light ones are also not so easy, but somewhere in the middle, you will see the difference between this and this card. Conclusion: where you're looking at hues that all seem similar at first sight, look at the mid-tones and it's easier to recognize the temperature. That's it for today. Thumbs up if you enjoyed this little demo. Thank you so much. In the next episodes, I will show you how to create color palettes for warm versus cool undertones. If you're interested, subscribe to my channel before you go watch the next video. In the meantime, this one, also linked down below, is a video about what the colors you wear say about you, the message that you're sending. to other people's eyes. So you can start thinking about which colors you enjoy wearing and would like to include in your color palette in your wardrobe. Any question you have on this video or on a specific color that you've seen somewhere, let me know in the comments, and I will see you in the next one. Take care. Bye.